Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and today I'm using up some painted papers and covering up something that I started that I don't quite like in my art journal. We always have those pages that we start and then we kind of go, ooh, where is this going? And abandon it. I do anyway. And this year I've been really trying hard to rescue some of my abandoned art journals that have pages like this in them and cover them up and make them into something that I actually love and enjoy creating. I don't know what it was with this page. It could have been the lime green. If you guys watch my videos quite often, you'll know how I feel about that. Or the people were just a bit spooky looking, but it just wasn't working. So this is an 8x8 creative Dilutions creative journal, and I am covering it up because no matter what, you can always cover up your mistakes and create a new art journal page. Layers are your best friend when it comes to art journal disasters. And as you can see here, I'm going a little layer crazy. So I've grabbed a range of papers from my stash. I've got book pages, there's a menu, there's some old categories, the forms that you fill out when you play the board game categories. There's some graph paper from an exercise book. I think there might even be some dictionary paper. The blue paper there is from a Frankie magazine, and I just really liked the font. And I'm just going through and ripping up little bits. I know that when I do this stage, I don't put too much care and thought into where things will go because I know that a lot of it will be covered up anyway. I should add that I was using Liquitex Matte Gel Medium to stick all of that down. Matte Gel Medium is great because you can use it like a glue if you're collaging. You can also put it on top of things, on top of glossy things like magazine pictures to make them matte so that you can work on top of them. And it's just something handy to have in your arty stash if you don't already have it. It was a little too... things were a little too blue and a little too dark, some of those book pages, and I kind of wanted to mute everything down a little bit. So I grabbed some white gesso and I just mixed it with a bit of a watery, thick paintbrush, and I'm just doing a bit of a whitewash over the whole page. And I did dry, of course, the collagey bits before I did all of this, because otherwise you may have a bit of a gluey mess. And I will also dry this off camera, as you don't need to watch me with my heat gun for too long. Next up, this was some beautiful tissue paper. I have a feeling they came on a bunch of flowers that someone gave me, possibly maybe my bestie or my mum, and I just knew that I had to rescue the tissue paper because there's no way I was throwing that away. It was just way too gorgeous. And so I've ripped it off in a bit of a wonky kind of fashion. I wanted it to not look too blocky on the sides. Whenever I do collage like this, I like to tear the edges. It just makes it look a bit more flowy and it doesn't give you such a bold line. I find that sometimes, unless that's what you want, it can draw your eye a little bit too much to it if you have a focal image that has a really bold line and the rest of it doesn't. So that's a little tip if you find that your eye is being drawn to the wrong part of your focal image. Try and tear it and it softens it up a little bit. I'm using my matte gel medium again and a very dodgy paintbrush. Always use a dodgy paintbrush with your mediums, with your gesso, because they really do stuff up your paint bristles a lot quicker than normal paint does. I've just got this cheap one that I picked up. I like a nice, like a wider flat brush, and I find that it works quite well. So then I'm sticking and plonking like a mad woman. So off camera, so you didn't have to experience me punching a million shapes, I have grabbed a whole range of painted papers. I've got a lot of these papers are from the jelly plate class that I filmed and haven't edited and put online yet. And there's some book pages. I just wanted to keep it in the blue and pink family with a little touch of book paper because it's kind of like a neutral. And I am going crazy and just sticking them everywhere. I wanted this to be a really playful kind of page. It's not very serious. It doesn't have a huge message behind it. It's just having a little bit of fun, and they're the pages that I like making the most because I can kind of let loose a little bit more and not think all of my actions through as precisely as I would if I was, say, drawing a face as the focal image, or working with a more serious topic or quote. It's just all about sticking and plonking all the pretty things that you like in your craft room. So I'm making sure to overlap some of these circles. When I do overlap them, I'm just making sure that they're not from the same painted paper. I got a bit tongue-tied there. And I'm also just making sure that I also overlap some off the edge. I really like the look of that. I just feel like if I was to not have them overlapping the edge of the paper, then they look like they don't belong there. I know that sounds silly, but to me, I just like the look of them like they're falling off the page. So then I grabbed my white Uniball Signo Broad gel pen, and I'm just doing some doodly borders and dashed lines just to make the circles pop a little bit. And it was at this point I was like, okay, what next? Because I felt like I needed something else. This page was traveling along well. I loved the background. I loved the bright pop of colour contrasting with the whitewashed book page background, but it needed something else. And so while I'm doing all of these doodly borders and having my hand almost fall off, I'm trying to think of if there's a particular quote or if I want to do a focal image or something up there. And I had this space at the top, and I decided to do it with just a lead pencil for today. Usually I use a black pen or a paint pen, but I felt like if I had done it with black, it would have been just too bold, and those flowers are just so delicate that I just think it would have been too much. If I had outlined the circles with a black pen, it would have made more sense, but I didn't, and so pencil it is. So I'm just writing down a quote that I found online. I have a lot of trouble journaling, like putting my words, my own personal words down. So if you're someone like me who does struggle a little bit with that, because I struggle with it because I don't want people to read it, and it's a bit hard when you make YouTube videos and share online to blur out the journaling. So I prefer to just find quotes that I feel like maybe sum up how I was feeling at that moment, or are a little bit motivational, or just a pretty bunch of words together that I think sounds nice. And so that's what I did for this one. Then to tie in my pencil a little bit more, I just grabbed my lead pencil again, and I'm just doing some really loose leafy branches coming out from these little floral bouquets. I should add at this time, I'm going to do some splatters with my watercolour paint. I should add, I am pre-recording some videos. If you're new to my channel, I'm expecting a bub at the end of the year, which is exciting. So I'm trying to get ahead with some videos, but I'm hoping to have another live stream around this time of the month or early September. So keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram, Inkie Quill, on my Facebook page, Inkie Quill, and I'll also put like a little post over here on YouTube to let you know when that will happen. I did a live stream back in June, and I'm hoping to squeeze in another one before baby number 2 comes along and life just gets hectic. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy art journaling, and if you'd like to see some more art journaling videos in the future. I will be back next week on my main channel, Inkie Quill, and then the week after back here on Let's Get Inkie. See you guys. Bye.